Hey, this is Susan Blanton with the Create Happy Now podcast, and today I have on my show Sarah Routman. Sarah wows audiences with her expertise, enthusiasm, and highly interactive, laugh-it-out approach towards event planning, corporate wellness, and personal stress management, all while providing a serious and seriously fun exercise workout. She will tickle your funny bone as she turns everything you thought you knew about laughter on its head. Sarah is most passionate about sharing her stories of overcoming some of life's most traumatic moments with people who are facing their own life's challenges. She knows firsthand how powerful laughter is a tool for healing. It's hard to describe the joy she feels when she is able to literally witness transformation taking place as someone becomes empowered to seize control of their life in ways they no longer thought possible. She also created 4 coloring books, co-authored Laugh Now, and is a published photographer and poet. Welcome to the Create Happy Now podcast, dedicated to helping you start your journey to discover true happiness. Join me, your host, Susan Blanton, weekly as we explore the transformation stories and words of wisdom from our masters of happiness with tips you can start applying today to create happy now. I have Sarah Routman on the show with me today, and I'm so excited because she's going to get us all laughing. Sarah is the laughter professional. So tell me how you became the laughter professional. Start from the very beginning.
Oh my goodness. Well, the beginning was I was born. Although there are people who would wonder if maybe it started way before that. Maybe I was laughing before I was even an idea. I was a bonus baby, though. I'm an identical twin, and my mother did not know until several hours before.
Oh,
and
goodness.
So she always called me her bonus baby, which that does a lot for your self-esteem, I will say. But when I was having my own children, my third daughter was born with an immune deficiency. And I lived for 8 months in a hospital room with her, intermittently 8 months. And one of the things on the wall was this poster, "I love you very much." Aww. And my husband was home with the other girls at the time, and he came to visit for a weekend. And he had her on his lap, and he was tickling her and pointing to, "I love you very much." And when he got to you, that's when he started tickling her, and she let out the most incredible laughter. And he started laughing, and then I just joined in. And remember, I was living on the bathroom floor of her hospital room. She had a lot of serious issues. Aww. And she was 18 months old at the time. So I was in a place that was anywhere but a place you would anticipate laughter. Yeah. But in her laughter, it was as if she said, "Come with me, let's go to the garden, let's play, come to this moment right now, enjoy this and forget all this other stuff." Yeah. And it was a very transformative moment because I recognized that laughter has an ability to take us somewhere else. And there was nothing funny, but laughter did something to me that I had never recognized before. And now I want you to fast forward. And my older daughter has a good friend, and she goes to become a laughter yoga leader. And because Molly, who laughs a lot, Molly said, "Come, I'm going to do this." We go to this church, and the basement floor, and there's like 40 adults and kids, and everybody's there. And I'm there to support Molly, but I have no idea what I'm in for. Right. Well, she's talking about laughing on purpose. Nothing's funny. And I'm like, "Okay, but Molly, you're so funny. And so what are we supposed to do?" And I looked around, and we all felt awkward. But pretty soon we started laughing. Mm-hmm. And then we couldn't stop laughing. And by the end of 45 minutes, oh my God, I sounded like a smoker. I was coughing because that's what happens when you laugh a lot. Your
snot's coming out, and you're like...
It was amazing. And that feeling returned. And I walked to the parking lot and said, "This is it. I have to do this. I have to learn how to do this. I have to teach people this because I've been waiting years to feel that again." Mm-hmm. And this is really, really powerful. And so I then found myself a couple of years later, I started doing it right away in different ways, but I didn't realize you really have to be certified first.
No, really?
Yeah, you
To be certified.
It's a real certification to be a laughter
Wow.
yoga leader. It was started in 1995 by a medical doctor in India studying the health benefits of humor. He went to a park, told jokes for 45 minutes with 6 friends. By the end of the week, they said, oh, the jokes aren't really funny. And they had grown to 30 people. And so he was like, what am I going to do? He called on his theater background, and he realized if he could get them to trigger the laughter somehow, it was contagious and it would still work. And
Right.
so it did in fact work. And today there are laughter yoga clubs practiced all over the world in over 100 countries.
Wow.
Yeah. So when I found myself a few years later at a crossroads, having lost a job that I thought would be my last job, and not knowing what I was going to do with my life, I was like, well, there's this laughter thing and it's so powerful, and you really want to make that happen. Except no one said, yeah, Sarah, but you're not a business major and you're not a marketing guru. And are you sure you want to have your own business? Thankfully, nobody asked me that, because I would have said no, but I didn't know. So I plunged right in, and here I am 6 years later. I've laughed for 15 years, but 6 years as a business. And my why, if you follow Simon Sinek, my goal, my inspiration is I want everyone else to feel how I felt. And I want everyone to know that it doesn't take that much to learn that. And so
it's like a superpower.
It is. When people say, what's your superpower? Absolutely, laughter.
Everybody has it. Everybody has it. Yeah. Everybody has lots of superpowers within them to heal themselves and make themselves happy now. I mean, it can be done. You just, have to know the tools. And this is an amazing one. This is a fun one,
Well,
so.
And I even think that the poster, I'm actually talked to someone about redoing it for me today. I think it needs to say, I laugh you very much.
Oh, I love that. It's perfect.
Yeah, it's kind of like what my daughter left for me is, I laugh you very much. So
that's amazing. I love that. So tell us a little bit more about what you conduct and what do you do? Like, what's your business like, and what are some of the benefits that your clients have been, they're surprised by the benefit?
Well,
do you have any success stories?
The first big surprise is what percentage of laughter do you think comes from us thinking something is funny? Like triggered by humor, a comedy sketch, a funny movie, or a comedian. What percentage of the laughter that you experience do you think comes from that?
Probably most of it. Right. A typical person. I laugh at myself all day long.
Well, that's interesting. We'll get to that in a second. But first of all, only 20% of laughter comes from us thinking something's funny. And if that's 20%, then where's all the rest? Mm-hmm. Well, we laugh when we're scared. We laugh when we're delighted about something. We also laugh as a connector. We laugh in a social situation because we want approval. We want to feel like we fit in. And laughter is also our body's natural way to laugh when we feel discombobulated, when we feel disjointed, when we feel out of sorts. Have you ever experienced laughter and you're like, I wasn't intending to laugh. I didn't plan to laugh, but I'm hearing myself laugh. And oh my gosh, we all know that laughter feels good. So it's something we seek out. We do want it because we know it feels good. So the science is so interesting. What happens just if you smile, just a smile, this motion, if you mean it, like, that might not
a grin.
Put a pencil in your, that kind of, a big grin, and let your eyes dance. Feel some joy in your body.
The twinkle in your eye and the grin.
Yes.
Yes.
So just that motion sends endorphins to your brain, and endorphins are those feel-good chemicals. And what they do is they send cortisol, the stress hormone, away. They say, take a vacation, we'll call you later. And then they invite dopamine and serotonin, the other good chemicals, into your body. And that's why you readily start feeling good. Laughter, we love doing it. Now, have you ever laughed so hard that you couldn't breathe and you're like, stop,
yes,
laugh? Okay, so that's so interesting. When I discovered this, I couldn't wait to share it with everyone. So right now we're breathing. We're not thinking about it so much, but we have deep belly breathing or diaphragmatic breathing, which stimulates the diaphragm. And to do that, you put your hands on your belly And then you breathe in through your nose. And as you breathe in, you're going to feel your belly expand. Now, if you're a woman or a man, but if you're like me, you don't want your belly expanding, but I promise you it'll go back. So you breathe in through your nose and feel your belly explode like a balloon. And then as you exhale through your mouth, you're going to feel the belly come back in.
Right.
It's like magic. Do it one more time. And then breathe out. Okay, so that's what we want, because when we stimulate the diaphragm, that massages all the other organs in the body and makes everything work better. But here's the thing. When I ask people to laugh on purpose, because I'm trying to teach you how to do purposeful, playful laughter, since you don't need to have a sense of humor and you don't need a joke to get you there, let me teach it to you on purpose so you have it all the time. But people are like, but I don't know how to just laugh. Okay, well, I can just laugh. However, I've been practicing for 15 years.
Right.
So I don't want people to feel bad if they can't just burst into laughter. So this is an exercise that helps people practice. It's called laughter breaths. Now we're going to go back to that. Breathe in through your nose and breathe out through your mouth, except that now when we breathe out, we're going to say the words ha, 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 over and over until we can't stop. Now, if you need to breathe at any point, please do that. We don't want anyone passing out.
Okay.
And so,
and we might get a little loud, so beware, everybody.
Okay, so ready?
All right. It's almost so silly that it makes you laugh anyway.
Yes. And we laugh also because we feel a little awkward about it because we've never done this before and it's a little uncomfortable. So there are all these piles of reasons that we're laughing. And the real reason that we're laughing, I think, when I teach people is I want you to understand the health benefits. When you hear the words, laughter's the best medicine, it's probably the most understated statement you've ever heard because it is incredible medicine. I'm writing a book right now about laughter called Laugh Now. It's called Laugh Now, Seriously Fun Ways to De-Stress, Enhance Health, and Unleash Joy. And those are just the tip of the iceberg. So as we were just doing laughter breaths, what you also notice is when you exhale with laughter, when you laugh, you're exhaling a lot more than in a normal breath. And so suddenly you recognize that laughter is your body's natural way to increase the oxygen flow in your body. Because if you've exhaled a bunch, now you're going to inhale more oxygen. It also gets your blood flowing, so much so that heart doctors are literally writing out a prescription to their patients that say, I want you to get 15 minutes of belly laughs a day.
Wow. And they're like, well, how?
Yeah, that's right. Like, do it. Well, that's
Sarah.
That's one of the reasons that I do laughter every single day on Facebook Live. I've been doing it since March 9th of 2020 when I recognized everyone was stressed. I was like, we need this. I need this. And so every 20 minutes, not every 20 minutes, every day for 20 minutes, I do a laughter session so people can join me and we go over tips and tools and we laugh. So
that's amazing. So what is, do you have anybody that, well, you don't have to name them, but any clients that maybe just were really apprehensive about this, but then found that this was just like the answer?
Yes. So probably in the beginning, I was doing a lot of work on a college campus with faculty members, with students, and some business people. I remember being in a room. It was a small conference room, and it was big enough for a table and about 15 chairs. And it was a chamber of commerce. And I had everyone standing up because usually you're in a big room moving around. And so as we would go around the room, I would ask people to say their name and give a laugh, or we would pass a laugh, and there are different exercises. And I always start by explaining to people when we do laughter yoga, there are 2 rules. The first one is that we make eye contact. And when I'm doing it virtually, you can also use your imagination if you have to, but we want to try to connect with our eyes.
Okay.
And the second rule is so important. We're going to suspend judgment first of ourselves. I'm not doing it
That's so
wrong.
Hard for so many people.
It is so hard. And I have exercises for that too. We have a negative self-talk that we squash with laughter.
like looking in the mirror and laughing. I bet that's like horrific to some people.
Right, exactly. Well, and so, but the thing is like learning how to accept yourself in the moment, and we extend that acceptance to everyone in the room. So I tell you right away,
Kind of a namaste, right?
right, this is now a safe space to laugh, so that we're supporting each other in the laughter, because we all want the same thing. We want to feel good. We want all these great health
We
benefits.
don't think you're silly because we're laughing
right.
too.
Well, and silly is okay. Playful
Right.
is the preferred word because it has less judgment in it. But play is a really important component. We're going back to childlike innocence. We're not judging ourselves. We're in the moment. So this one guy, he just kept passing. He didn't want to participate, which I give them permission over and over. Show up how you want, no judgment. But I watched out of the corner of my eye, and he did let out a couple chuckles, and he did do it sometimes. He just didn't like being in the spotlight.
Yeah.
Every now and then I'd have a person say, yeah, this got me out of my comfort zone. And yet, if I ask those same people, how did it feel to you? I used to have a survey. It always was, they felt more relaxed, they felt less stressed, some felt less pain. It's just that they felt a little uncomfortable. And like anything, if you want to do it well, you have to practice. I've been practicing for 15 years, so it doesn't faze me. But somebody that's new needs to give themselves permission. And then the more you practice, the better you get at it.
So I have a question. So when you're starting to laugh and it kind of feels forced, when's the threshold where it actually becomes a real laugh? I mean, does it have to become a real laugh to be beneficial?
That's the foundational. I'm so glad you asked that. That's the foundational thing about laughter yoga. Your body does not know the difference between laughing on purpose and laughing genuinely because you think something's funny. Now, psychologically, you may feel a difference, but you get all the same health benefits. And remember, I told you that one of the reasons we laugh is to make a social connection. So I would say the more you are with someone else when you laugh, the easier it is to become spontaneous laughter, because laughter is contagious. And a couple times I'd have somebody in a room doing a session and they had a great laugh that just hearing them made other people laugh. And I would say, yeah, I'm going to bring you with me next time. Because if everyone in the room is feeling uncomfortable, I have to work harder to get them past that, that little hump where they're still and you can tell they're still judging themselves. They're still hesitating. You can feel it in the room the minute that someone lets go and says, okay, I'll just do it. It's like that wild abandon of, all right, I'm not going to try to stifle it.
Or they may be just watching everybody else and not forcing at the front, but after a while it just catches on because it's like a yawn. Yes. When you see someone yawn and then you've got a yawn, laughter is like that. I mean, you could walk into a crowd, like if you were late to a party and everybody's kind of standing around, they're all laughing, and then they're laughing so hard that they can't tell you what they're laughing about, but you already start laughing before they start telling you.
Right. And that's like kids, because kids laugh a lot for no reason most of the time, but adults, they're a little stuffier on average, and it's harder for them. But when you get to that really great place of laughter, there's nothing better. I sometimes talk about, let's get piggish with laughter. And I say that because
so you snort when you laugh.
And as soon as you hear someone snort, it kind of makes you laugh.
Right.
But I've actually divided the laughter exercises into laughter in pairs, that's the P, laughter as an individual, and then laughter as a group. And so there are different kinds of exercises that you can go through that do all those things. And so sometimes when people are uncomfortable, we start by doing something in pairs, because now you're feeling the discomfort together. So it's not as bad. But also I start often with something called smile ups. So I'm just asking you to smile. Remember those endorphins?
Yeah.
So I'll ask you to have a partner and we're going to
smile up
and relax and smile and relax. But smiling is the gateway to laughter. And often laughter is a smile that bursts. So if I'm asking you to smile at each other and you both feel uncomfortable, chances are good, before I ever asked you to laugh, that you're already doing it, because all I did was ask you to smile.
And almost it's, even though you're smiling and you stop smiling, it almost takes more muscles to unsmile than to smile.
As a matter of fact, it does take more muscles to frown than to smile.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. But okay, so another thing that I think that, let's say if there's other people that are laughing but you don't feel like laughing, I think being in their presence does help.
Yes. For sure. So, let's see. Once went to a hospice patients twice. I went to laugh with a hospice patient, and I've actually done seminars training health professionals of all kinds. The oncology nurses, the doctors, the caregivers, all the way from soup to nuts, all of them. But I went into this house, and the first thing they said to me was, I mean, I was planning to be there. They wanted me there on Mother's Day
Mm-hmm.
to laugh with her mom, the woman who called me, because
Aw.
she had experienced laughter with me and her mom couldn't come because she had cancer. And I said, well, I'm happy to come and do it with you.
Okay.
First thing she says, I'm sorry, we're going to cancel. She's not up to it.
Aw.
And she, so, like, we'll pay you for your mileage. I'm like, you don't need to pay me for my mileage, but can I see her? Can we talk for a minute? Turned out we laughed for an hour. It was the daughter, the mom, and the healthcare, the hospice nurse. And it was unbelievable because it gave everybody in the room a focus. So even when someone is chronically ill or dying, we have choices. We
Yes.
can sit around and be, already feeling that they're dead when they're not, and they might live for 6 months. And is that how you
Mm-hmm.
want to show up in their room every day? Or
Mm-hmm.
we can say, in the moment, right now, we're going to find joy in this moment. And that's one of the biggest gifts of laughter,
Yep.
is it helps put you in the moment and it helps you call up joy. And so now what I was able to do is give them some memories that now her daughter has those memories of them laughing together. And
Aw.
so I don't think that the hospice nurse or the daughter or the patient for that matter were finding a lot of laughter. But as we did it, they started to really laugh. And in fact, the patient at the end, there's a transition that we do, and it goes like this: very good, yay. And it makes you feel kind of like a child.
Yeah.
We got her to do that. And at one point, her hands rested in a way that she kind of made a
A
heart
heart.
with her hands resting on her chest. It was the most beautiful thing. It just,
Aw.
it really filled me up. So
Oh, I love that. That's so amazing. I think you're probably going to inspire people to become a professional, a laughter professional too, and
well,
get
that would be
licensed.
great, especially because I'm a laughter professional trainer. I can certify
Ooh.
other people to be laughter yoga leaders. And it's about a 14 to 18-hour course, depending on, are we doing it in person or virtually?
Virtual. Okay.
Virtually allows people to do it from all over the world. There's nothing quite like laughing in person, I will say. But I do offer it, via Facebook and also on the phone on a regular basis, because each way that you do it has different benefits. Laughing on the phone, nobody's seeing you. You can
Mm-hmm.
roll out of bed in your pajamas. You can do it in the car. You can do it in the swimming pool. You can do it wherever you are, because it's portable. And that's one of the big messages too, is that laughter's portable. It's free. It's portable. You always have it with you. And oh my gosh, you leave a trail of laughter wherever you go if you keep it in your pocket.
Not too long ago, I was woken up because it said, "What are you laughing at?"
I once woke myself laughing.
Did you?
I was laughing really loud, and I was suddenly like, woo, and I couldn't remember at all why I had laughed, what the dream was, but I literally woke myself up laughing so hard.
I've even seen dogs go like they're almost laughing.
Yes.
So, so tell us what's your favorite quote? What that just kind of keeps coming back to you all the time.
Yes. I don't know where I first found this quote, but it absolutely rang true. The minute I saw it, I didn't even know who said it for a long time. And then finally I was able to find it. And then I've seen several people claim it, but I give credit to Irving Berlin for this quote. And the quote is, life is 10% what happens to us and 90% how we respond. And I love that quote so much, because at a
It's
time
true.
when laughter should be the farthest thing from the room, look how it changed everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I often talk about, we can't change the stress. Lots of my exercises are about helping people eliminate stress.
Mm-hmm.
And the stress, the problem isn't going away so quickly. However, stressing about it is not going to change it. Like, imagine yourself in a car late to work and now you're stuck in a traffic jam.
Yeah.
my suggestion is do 10 smile ups, because now you're going to send stress away. You're going to find the giggles, especially as you look at the people next to you. And when you get wherever you're going, now you're going to have joy in your heart, instead of, if you hadn't done that, you're like this, you're going to bowl people over, you're going to bring all that negative energy. The problems will still be there for us to deal with, but with laughter, we have a fresh perspective.
Yes.
And so the quote just reminds me that we have a choice of how we show up. And I just think that with laughter, you have a much more powerful way to show up.
Well, and you tend to start noticing more ease and grace in your life.
Yes.
There's times where if I get frustrated, and I think you and I talked about this a while back, where the technology is starting to not cooperate. And the more you get frustrated at it, the more it just things to start to kind of domino. And so I just have to take myself away from the situation, or burn some what is it? The sage, which helps. But I have to just kind of like, because I know that my energy, my negative energy, affects everything, and it's crazy. I mean, I've burnt out 11 light bulbs in a week,
right?
Because I was stressed out about something.
Part of what happens is when we get tense or stressed, our body clenches here. You can feel it, and you tense up. And so it's a little bit like childbirth, right? When they teach you about childbirth, you get scared. And when you get scared because you don't know what's happening to you, you tense up. But what your body needs to do is relax. And breath is such a powerful thing about that, deep breathing. And remember, what are we doing when we're laughing? We're accessing the diaphragm. We're exchanging more oxygen. So it's really allowing us to breathe, and then we relax into it. And so when you're in a relaxed state, you can do everything in a better way. And laughter gives us the opportunity to look at things in a fresh way. It accesses our creativity. And so you actually become a more creative problem solver the more you learn to laugh at something. And you don't have to think it's funny. You just have to bring laughter to it.
Well, and you had said something about where, it's a choice, and it is a choice, and your happiness, your joy is your responsibility.
Yes.
And no one else's. And on the contrary, I mean, you're not responsible for anybody else's happiness.
Right.
So that kind of gives you relief, but also gives you like more control, right? Like you don't have to depend on your environment or your relationships or what you have or what you don't have as a means of your happiness or your ability to laugh, right?
Right. It comes from inside, and you don't have to be defined by the outside things. Just today, I learned something. I'm in a course, and the guy that was leading it today asked us, how's everybody doing? And people said, good. And, I had a great weekend. And so then he asked the question, well, how does it get better than that? Thinking it was a great thing. And then he said, did anyone have a bad time? And yeah, technology. And the same question is, how does it get better than that? Now that's such a great mind trick. I already have written this on a piece of paper, and I'm going to be writing it bigger, and I'm going to keep it front and center, because if you're having a bad moment and you ask yourself, how does it get better than this? That's reminding you it will get better than this. You just have to think about what is the very next step, and you don't need to know where it's going to go. You don't need to know the end product. You just need to know it is going to get better. So I'm going to take that next step. It's like having curiosity and wonder. And another friend told me about when something bad happens, she'll stop herself and say, how fascinating. And it just reminds her, let me look at this a little differently. I didn't expect this. How fascinating. Let me see what I can bring from this. And it is amazing how much more powerful you actually feel when you recognize that these things are a choice that you have every minute.
Yeah. I mean, you can just go, well, that just happened and just start laughing, that's yeah. Or is this something you can't control? Oh, well,
right.
It's
not, and we don't want to ever belittle anybody's thing, because it really is a serious thing to you. But if I can help you shift your mind so that instead of feeling the victim, instead of feeling like it's not fair, oh my gosh, so many people when I was in the hospital and later when I got divorced would say to me, this is so unfair. You know, why aren't you angry about this? What is that going to do except make me an angry person who no one wants to be around? Right? It's not about
Absolutely.
fairness. If you walk into a room and you imagine all the people around you have a great life, and you look at, oh, look, she's got this and she's got, everyone has problems. Everyone.
Mm-hmm.
We just don't know what they are. And so if
Or
we can
how they
learn to
react to
just
them.
endorse whatever's going on and move with it with our control, and there will be things we can't control, but we can always control. I don't have to feel like the victim. I can rise above it and be better than that person, you know, who's belittling me, but I don't need to give them the control over me feeling bad or acting in a way that is not in my best interest.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's just like, that's the answer to a lot of our problems. You know, it's just how you want to react to it, because if you have a knee-jerk reaction that's, let me see how we can fix this, instead of, oh my gosh, you're going to have a better outcome
Absolutely.
than if you're just, go to the negative, because the
And
negative is just a
even just
domino effect to
watching,
more negative.
even just watching your body language as you pose that question, oh my God, you could tell if you took away the sound, you know, you made one kind of grimacy face about why is this happening? And then you were like, oh, or curiosity. And your body knows those things. So what
It
your body
does.
does, it fuels your heart and all your systems and your brain. So yeah.
Well, and another thing that you can do to feel better is to just put your shoulders back or stand up and
Yes.
put your hands on your hips, the Superman,
Oh
you
yeah.
know, and look up like, oh, and and just standing like that, or it can kind of make you feel better, and make you want to laugh, and your diaphragm, you're feeling better, you're breathing better.
Right.
So just stand up, if you
Oh,
can.
your laughter pose is making me think laughter now is here to save the day.
I love that. You should have like a Superman thing that says laughter man or something, or laughter woman, Oh my gosh. So now that we're talking about that, so what's your happy hack? Except
Well,
for this whole entire podcast, but
yeah, really.
what's your happy
Yeah,
hack?
I love to think of wrapping myself in laughter. And then wherever I go, when anybody needs it, I'm going to just pull some out of my pocket. In fact, even during the pandemic, when we were wearing masks, I had a mask made, and I don't have one handy, but it said on the outside, it said, "Have you laughed today?" Because I thought, even with this barrier, we're trying to create connections. And I have a big magnet on the side of my car that says the same thing: "Have you laughed today?" And so
Like
my
that.
happy hack is laugh, find the joy, and remember that if you can give a giggle to somebody else, then you can share it, and then it multiplies for you, so that all the people around you are going to want to be in on it too. So be the laugh that everybody remembers.
Well, and also, if you really feel like you're struggling to laugh, go back to that time where you really laughed so hard, the snot was coming out, you're rolling on the floor, you're peeing your pants, you can't catch your breath, can't tell anybody what you're laughing about, and think about that, because you start thinking about that, you're going to start laughing, because that was such a strong emotional, it's like a smell and a memory, if you remember that moment in time, you're going to start laughing about it again.
Yes.
And then you start, like, want to tell somebody, oh my gosh, I remember the time that was so funny. And then it happens. You're going to laugh again. You're not going to say it with a straight face.
It's very true that the memory can trigger the laughter. And people say live, laugh, love. Yeah. I have a little sign, I should have had it handy. It says live, laugh, leak.
Yes, especially when you get into your 40s and 50s.
Right. And there's another quote that says, I laughed so hard the tears ran down my legs.
Oh, yes.
Good for you.
Yep. Well, what can you tell the listeners that they can go and find more of Sarah Routman?
Okay, so the best place is to visit my website, which is laughhealthy.com. And on there, you will find all my social media contacts, and I am on lots of them. But I do want to particularly call your attention to Chocolate Thursday, which is something I celebrate every Thursday. And every Thursday is Chocolate Thursday. So we infuse the laughter with chocolate in a variety of ways. And so I invite you to check out that page. There are chocolate coupons available. I'm looking for small businesses that have any kind of chocolate that might want to partner. And what we try to do is find somebody who needs a little extra boost. They're having an especially hard time. And so we gift them some chocolate, and then they get a laughter feast with chocolate where we do a whole like party on Zoom. We had one yesterday, and Chocolate Thursday just is a great way to remind yourself every day to just be in the laughter mode, but on Thursday we'll add some chocolate. Oh, and by the way, laughter is such great exercise that if you do laugh for 15 minutes a day, good belly laughs, not only will your heart doctor be happy, you can lose 50 calories for every one of those 15 minutes, which means that's 4 pounds in a year if you laugh every day. So,
well, I know that there's been times where I've been like at a comedy club or I've been around some friends and we just laugh so much. The next day, my stomach's sore. My stomach muscles are
absolutely.
sore.
Yes, it works your
So
abs.
it's an ab workout.
Yeah, it is. It's great. I've had people tell me they broke a sweat. They laugh so hard.
Oh, really?
And you can also laugh so hard that you cry. And that actually, the heart doctor, he thinks that's the best kind of laughter to get to because it just means you're really engaging. And laughter and tears are similar. So sometimes if you find yourself laughing at what you think is an inappropriate time or in a funeral or something like that, what you're doing is you're laughing uncontrollably because you're uncomfortable and you don't know how to act. And again, it's your body's way of making you more comfortable. So don't fault yourself for that. Remember, laughter is like a great gift that we've been given in our bodies to help us feel good. So don't judge yourself by doing it.
I've gone from a cry to a laugh and a laugh to cry.
Yeah.
But I think one of my best memories of laughing is when my father would tell stories at the dinner table when we were all there, and he would talk about, I mean, he was an identical twin as well.
Oh, wow.
And he would talk about the stories that they had, growing up. And we would we were taking our glasses off and wiping our eyes and wiping our nose and blowing our nose. And then you start all over again. He would be wiping his eyes off, and laughing. And it was always such a great moment. And just, and so storytelling, it is something that I think that we get away from sometimes.
Yes.
We forget to tell those stories that are fun and funny, and so everybody else can enjoy the stories that you thought were funny.
Well, and stories are a great way to connect and find a shared experience. Even with a stranger, if you don't know someone, but you share stories, you're going to find common ground. And that's, I think, the great connector, and when we share laughter, the research says that we're much more likely to share honest things about ourselves, whether we've laughed with strangers or friends. So if you can be in somebody's company, share stories, find laughter, you're making instant connections. And at a time when around 30% of people are living alone, and we're still feeling isolated, laughter is something that just makes us feel so much more connected.
You always have it. It's only a moment away, right?
Yeah, that's it.
So, well, thank you so much for coming on to the great Create Happy Now podcast. I'm so happy, and I just can't even believe that it's well, I can now, but that you get you get certified as a laughter coach or trainer or a facilitator. That is so fascinating, and I'm so happy that that's just like a worldwide thing.
Yes, it's great. And the first Sunday of May every year, we celebrate World Laughter Day. And you'll see all over the world, there are people doing laughter parades and laughter sessions in the park and all kinds of things. And I do celebrate Global Belly Laugh Day, which is on January 24th. And I celebrate International Moment of Laughter Day on April 14th. So
there's a lot of holidays
in my book. So
there's a lot of laughter holidays there. Right. I love that. Well, thank you so much. And I would love to have you on the show again. Definitely.
I would love to be there. Thank you so much. I hope that somebody gets a giggle added to their day as a result of this. And if at any time I can help you add laughter to your life, please be in touch. I'm happy to share some more things with you. And find me on Facebook or on my phone. It's not my phone, but on the phone call, it's listed on the website. I'm happy to share laughter with you any day.
And I'll have all of that information in the show notes too. So you all don't have to remember that, but well, thank you so much. It's been an absolute joy to have you on the show.
Oh, thanks so much. It was my pleasure completely to be here. And I'll just leave you with another little giggle.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the Create Happy Now podcast. If you liked today's episode, please subscribe, rate, and leave a comment on the additional topics that you would like to be featured on the Create Happy Now podcast. We'd love to hear what you have to say. Catch Create Happy Now on YouTube with podcast recordings and additional videos. Look out for Create Happy Now Facebook group, courses, books, and more. If you would like to stay on top of Create Happy Now creations, subscribe to the podcast and YouTube channel so you can start your journey to Create Happy Now. You can also find Create Happy Now on Spotify, iTunes, YouTube, Podbean, Stitcher, Deezer, Amazon Music, and iHeartRadio.